had searched for him for a very long time. I was angry. I actually thought he just didn't want me.
Remains were found in 1978. Some mushroom pickers were out and they came across a lower jaw as well as several other bones. Detectives went out, did an investigation. There was nothing to show an ID on the person. They were never able to immediately ID him. My name is Detective Sergeant Lindsay Kirkard. I'm the cold case detective sergeant for the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. 10 years later, a bird hunter actually found the skull, and they had pieced the two together. A pathologist and odontologist looked at it and determined that it was most likely the same person. So everything does kind of correlate together to suggest it was the same person, and then obviously DNA showed that this was him. He was born in Port Orchard, I believe it was, but then adopted out into Vancouver. I was able to track the adoption to a family in Vancouver. It was a very prominent family. Dad was a lawyer, and he ended up naming his son after him, so the name is William Nelson Church Jr. When he went missing, he had a girlfriend, and when I tracked her down and was able to speak with her, she remembered him having a son that he had called Dougie. Later on, I took a photo that I had received from DOC and had our Pierce County Sheriff's Office sketch artist do a drawing from that photo. And then we put that out into the media, and it wasn't till, I believe it was about May last year, 2025.
You give it good time then.
That I got this call from Douglas Anderson.
Okay, we're ready if you are.
Yeah, I'm Doug Anderson, son of William Nelson Church Jr. I grew up here in Vancouver, Washington. My mom was a teen mom. She was only 18 when she had me. She's amazing. She's probably the greatest person I've ever known.
Doug Anderson spent the majority of his life believing that his dad abandoned him. He didn't know that in 1977, his dad's girlfriend had actually filed a missing persons report with the Tacoma Police Department. That report says that Church never showed up for work, and in 2025, Anderson learned the truth. His father had been murdered.
I felt guilty, to be honest, because I had been angry. I had been upset, and I felt like it was wrong for me to feel that way now because, you know, it wasn't his fault like I thought it was. I thought he just didn't want me. He just didn't care. He was a deadbeat dad. When really, in all reality, he wasn't able to fill that position because somebody had taken his life. Show you something that you're gonna be interested in, but well, I'll show you that this is the only picture I've ever seen of him. Is this, which is just crap. You can't really. That's the only picture I've ever seen. There's no other pictures I've seen.
Do you have any memories?
Well, no, because he disappeared when I was 3 years old. I don't even remember, to be honest, meeting him.
So this is a packet that we got from Pierce County Sheriff's Office.
That's gonna be weird. That's way different than I expected. You know, I thought all hope was lost to actually have a vision, and you know, of my father. You know, my biological father. You know, I thought all hope was lost there. After I found out that he was murdered. My mom and her friend Kathy remember my dad as a fun, outgoing, charismatic, and life of the party type person.
He had been arrested in 1973, and he went to prison. when he got out, he still liked to party, and he was described as a ladies' man, and he had a girlfriend.
Him and my mom basically had a summer romance in the summer of 1973. In 1974, I was born. Yeah, that's the difference between night and day. That's amazing. William Nelson Church, look at that.
Wow.
You think it looks like me?
Nose up. That looks like you. Up. We've never had a chance to see him, and it's really great that we are able to. Because it's like all his life, he never really knew what his dad looked like, and now it's like he can see it.
Our lifestyles definitely were different. I never got into drugs. I never got into that side of things. Definitely different. It's too bad he couldn't have had just a little bit more life. I didn't want him to be lost anymore. On the cross, it actually says, not lost, not forgotten. I just felt like I had to go to wherever it was, the last place that he was, and have something that was a memory. And that's important for me to continue in making sure that it just doesn't go cold.